And a pleasant good evening coming to you from the sports betting capital of the world, Las Vegas. This is Ramon Scott, and welcome to Night Moves for Friday, September 25th. Getting to you here on a late Thursday night with a preview and a look ahead to tomorrow's action, including a little bit more Major League Baseball as well as WNBA playoffs. Totally in action, but really it's all about the Ryder Cup here in just about 4 or 5 hours from this live broadcast. Going to be pretty awesome. I don't know if I'll get to sleep here getting ready for the action here from Bethpage Black as they're set to tee off at 7:10 Eastern, 4:10 Pacific. Alternate shots in the opening round of the morning. You're going to have DeChambeau and JT up against Rahm and Terrell Hatton, Scotty and Henley up against Oberg. You got Morikawa up against McIlroy and Fleetwood. You got Xander and Cantlay going up against McIntyre. So going to be pretty awesome. I'm taking Team Europe. I don't want to be a Debbie Downer here, but I just don't like the vibe from the U.S. A little bit a holier than thou attitude maybe here. And hey, while we might want to be critical of the way Europe's going about it all, buddy and chummy, and but that's how they get it done, right? When it comes to Team Europe in the past, they rally around each other. So, the U.S. has had to shake off criticism here, obviously, with the pay for play for the players, and now they're kind of just giving it back. They didn't need the money, but why not? I'd rather be the team that pays the guys, right? Then, hey, let's get out there and win. Let's have a good performance. Let's not let it down, right? Maybe that's been the problem. That's maybe Team USA should be the team to have to get paid and perform under pressure. And that way, when they lose, we can really give them the business. But maybe this time we'll just cash with Europe. I'm going to take Team Europe to lift the Ryder Cup at plus $1.25. And I'm not hedging my emotions on it at all. We'll just see who's a little bit more. Hey, it's a mental test too, and there's no doubt that I think Bethpage Black is kind of a big advantage for the U.S. Of course, it is in the U.S., but I mean even more so where the crowd will be a little bit more into it, especially if Europe gets a little bit ornery. Don't do it, Europe. Don't get ornery out there. Otherwise, you're going to have a bunch of New Yorkers breathing down your neck, and you're going to have to perform under that type of pressure. And the U.S. will probably go for that, considering their attitude as well, with Bryson DeChambeau kind of really leading the emotional charge for the U.S. So looking forward to the Ryder Cup for sure. All right, how about Major League Baseball? We saw those Dodgers today. Tony, get those winning the game against Arizona today, 8-0. Ohtani hit one out there to the swimming pool, 2-run shot. Freddie Freeman, 2 home runs as well. Pages a home run, and the Dodgers get that division title over the Padres. That sets that first matchup up that we've been saying all since this show started anyway, and even before that it looked like the Padres would be on a collision course with the Chicago Cubs, shades of 1984. Maybe the Cubs will have all 3 games at home. The wild card home teams get all 3 games. So my Padres will have to go in there and do it before they move on to take on I would guess the Phillies, but we'll see. Should be a good series there, but Padres end up just a little bit short of those Dodgers. That's okay. Dodgers get another division title, 12 in the last 13 years, I think, right now. So, hey, we had some other good winners on Thursday. How about the NFL? We get right to it with that great game here, just closed out a short time ago with the Seahawks beating the Cardinals 23-20. It wasn't as good as it sounded on the scoreboard, right? The Seahawks needed a 52-yard field goal at the buzzer for the win after the Cardinals with Kyler Murray. You know the fourth quarter was going to be Kyler Murray time, even if he had a measly 132 yards or something for the first three quarters, or even that, maybe it was 116. Then he came through with like Kyler Murray does, bring him back to the game. And then some kicker goes out there and doesn't know the rules or couldn't lift the ball high enough. Maybe he was trying a squib kick that didn't work. Either way, I mean, come on, we just kick it into that zone. How hard can it be? Arizona loses 23-20. We have the Seahawks here on the Night Move show yesterday. And also, we had the winner here at Tony's Picks. I have the under. Hang on there, half a point. Hopefully the subscribers didn't get the worst of that number there, but to 43.5. I think most closers were around 43.5 here tonight, even some 44s, a lot of 44s actually. So I think all the 43s got there for sure in the game tonight with Seattle. They led 14-3 at halftime. Seattle rushed for 155 yards and outgained the Cardinals by 130 yards. And the Seahawks continued their dominance over Arizona. I know you could talk about a turnover a little bit, but in division play, I'm not as worried as much sometimes about that when you have one team that dominates another. Maybe it was those awkward Cardinals uniforms that looked like they shook up their soda pop and it had to explode over them before the game started, but I guess they were cool. And Seahawks over the Cardinals. Hey, I want to hear from you in the chat if you're joining me here tonight on Night Moves. Got a couple of dozen of you in here already, kind of getting this new show together, and hopefully you'll like what I have to bring to you each night. A little bit of recap, synopsis, if you will, of the previous action. Then we get right into the previews of the Thursday or the Friday games here, the next day's games here on Night Moves, late night on the Tony's Picks YouTube channel. We'll show you the website over at tonyspicks.com where you can get our premium picks, absolutely our best picks every day over at tonyspicks.com. You can use the promo code TonyT at checkout, save 15% off all premium pick packages, including mine over there at Tony's Picks. And like I said, we did have the under in that one tonight. Head on over to tonyspicks.com. You see here, check out the handicapper leaderboards and see who's hot. Man, Al did it again, 4-1. Really? Tony's got a couple of winners here. Let's see, we already focused on Al, I think, a night or two ago. Let's take a look at the winners that Tony had here. Always good to prop up the boss a little bit. He had Seattle in that game, and so did I. He laid it on the money line, and he had the Mets over the Cubs there, and the Mets finally won, right, and got it done, and Tony said it would happen that way. Go to the Premium Picks tab, and you can see all the picks from our team, including those handicapper leaderboards there. Check out those boards, see who's hot, and then that's when you want to get signed up. Got cappers here with their plays for the action on Friday, including Higgs. Here he's got his $19 college football best bet on one of those trio of games there. Justin's got all three in a triple stack college football pack there as well. Al Ninos has his Sunday kickoff, and hey, I'm in action here in just a short while with my Friday Beijing WTA discount best bet. Check it out over at Tony's Picks. It's a profit guaranteed pick. If it doesn't win, you'll get credits back to your account to use with a later, so maybe with me, maybe come right back with me. I'll get you a winner, but I'm going to bring you a winner tonight in WTA action. I'm watching some matches right now, including on the ladies' side, Rabakina and McAnally over here on the men's side. ADM Demon is up against me and you and Yunchaketi Boo going at it right now, and Demon won the first set 6-4. All right, head on over to tonyspicks.com and check out the team of handicappers there over at Tony's Picks. All right, and maybe we'll check in there a little bit later on too and look at it again. But I'm still recapping the action here with Army and East Carolina on Thursday night. East Carolina won the game 28-6. The Pirates led 21-0 in the first quarter. It was pretty much a dominating effort. Army didn't really get much going at all. Army was just 2 of 15 on third down, and Pirates outgained them 430 to 290, totally reversing what happened last year when these two played, and it was a high-scoring cover for Army, but this time, man, I didn't see this one coming. East Carolina, tremendous job, looking real good there in the 20-6 win. All right, Major League Baseball, man, let's get it all caught up to date here. We're just finished the action here a short time ago, and we talked about the Dodgers getting it done there. We are back to tied in the American League Central with that game between the Guardians and the Tigers. Tigers used 6 pitchers. We said, however you can get it done. They got it done 4-2 over the Guardians with 3 solo home runs. This weekend, Cleveland hosting Texas, Tigers visiting Boston. That's all you really need to know there with these two teams and how they're going to have to battle it out, it feels like right now. Houston, 1 game back as well. So see if the Astros can mix it up here. They obviously were able to get it done here on Thursday as the Astros won their game 11-5 over the Athletics finally there. Anyways, in that Mets win over the Cubs 8-5 as Lindor homered. He's a 30-30 guy this season. Mets led early 6-0. Beatty went deep. He had 3 RBIs. Talked about the Dodgers, and so Arizona falls 2 games behind the Mets now for that last wild card slot. So that's going to be hard pressed. We got Friday, we got Saturday, we got Sunday, guys. So Arizona right now, they're going to need big time help and keep winning those games here. Hey, I didn't like the results actually yesterday, but a couple games we did have right was Minnesota and Texas of all things. I think we pretty much discussed that one as being Minnesota and an under there yesterday in the chat with you guys. Also the Yankees kind of to handle the White Sox. I think we got that one right there. But other than that, I wasn't too impressed with a lot of the major league games there yesterday. Astros with that 11-5 win, Walker homered. It did end the Astros 7-game winning streak to the A's. Blue Jays over the Sox. Varsho, grand slam in that one. That was big. So New York and Toronto remain tied atop the AL East. We know this weekend, but the Blue Jays do own the tiebreaker. Should it come down to that. And right now with the teams tied, we'll see. Blue Jays own the tiebreaker over the Yankees. Boston's magic number to clinch a playoff spot is 1 with that victory. Phillies over the Marlins 1-0. Buehler 5 shutout innings. What kind of action are the Phillies going to get here in the postseason with all those pitchers that they'll go with that straight up 3-man rotation there? It seems like with I was getting it together earlier here. Let me get the Philly. I was trying to include who would be. Okay, Sanchez, Luzardo, and Suarez, certainly. Walker and Nola, can come out of there in long relief, along with Buehler, of course. So that is pretty solid for the Phillies heading into the postseason, man. You really do got to worry about them in the postseason. Hey, I want to hear your comments. Help me out there. I'm trying to give you this update on the Phillies rotation. I can't even, think of my guy, Christopher Sanchez. They're practically a Cy Young Award candidate. All right. Let's see what else in the major leagues, and then we'll get rolling here. Royals club the Angels. That one ended a short time ago with the Royals handling the business there, 9-4 behind Witt, 4 for 5, and Trout I saw hit a home run as well. And then I guess Seattle did finally they put it away pretty easy there in a late victory, 6-2 over the Rockies. All right. I think that's a good roundup there, and get ready for the action here on Friday night with college football. I think college football can lead us off, even though we've got WNBA playoffs as well. And maybe I'll take a look at some CFL action here on Night Moves tonight. Got a couple of games in the CFL. And hey, if you're interested, tomorrow night, at 9:30 p.m. or 12:30 p.m. Eastern, 9:30 Pacific. The Australian rules football final. If you want to see the championship of that sport, it will be tomorrow at 12:30 a.m. Eastern when Brisbane takes on Geelong. And Brisbane's a defending champs, but they are a 12.5-point underdog in the Australian rules football final tomorrow. All right, let's get rolling here and take a look at college football with Florida State taking on Virginia. You know, Florida State, everything's been looking pretty good so far. You kind of like what you see with Castellanos in there and how this team is looking right now. But you know what? Virginia at home, they're kind of an interesting bag. And have we really seen enough from Florida State so far this season as far as, I know they're getting propped up pretty good here right now with the way things are looking there. But have the tests really been there with the Seminoles so far? They're going to be a 7-point favorite here in this one. Total comes in now at 60. Man, this thing opened as low as 55 or so. So maybe generally it opened 57.5, but it opened at circa at 55. Some of the other books mostly 57 on the opener, but we're definitely looking at a 60 here right now between Florida State and Virginia here in ACC action on Friday night. Looks like a kind of a test of which team can kind of move forward a little bit. You have Castellanos, definitely a Heisman contender, but hey, they played East Texas A&M, they played Kent State, which in itself is no hard contest. So still, the Seminoles have returned a couple of key players here in this game, in Pittman and White, to help the offense here even more. And, hey, this could be a high-scoring game in this one. Florida State, pretty much the number one offense in the country right now, and Virginia's in the top 5 or 6 teams as well. So Virginia has a pretty good quarterback in Chandler Morris. He's got an 8-to-1 touchdown to interception ratio, completing 70% of his passes. He did have 5 touchdowns last weekend against Stanford. So, we might be going high here in this one, even with that total that's moved up for sure. Let's see if any comments from you guys? No. Okay, I'll just keep going then. Virginia, man, 11-3-1 against the spread in their last 14 conference games and 7-0 in conference games against teams coming off of a spread win. Virginia lost 35-31 in their other game before they beat Stanford 48-20. So they're 1-1 in conference play, but man, they're averaging 42 points a game so far. Are the Virginia Cavaliers, and obviously Chandler Morris. I mean, he's an experienced quarterback, having played before at TCU and North Texas. Now under Coach Elliott, Virginia 15-9 against the spread as a dog, 16-9 against the spread in ACC games overall. And so far, Virginia's gone over in all 3 of their games. So the teams have split the last 6 in the series, and FSU has lost 2 of the last 3 here at Virginia. Believe it or not, the unders come in 7 straight meetings between these two, but come on, I don't know if that's going to happen here. I got to go over in this one with Castellanos looking strong, getting these weapons back a little bit. They scored obviously 31 points against Alabama in that other game, by the way, and they also ran for 230 yards in that game as well. So I got to think that they can produce enough points here, and Virginia will probably have a free roll as well to the end zone, it feels like. Now, under Coach Norvell, Seminoles are in some pretty good company here as well. 6-2 ATS is a road favorite, and Norvell's always been kind of a good road favorite, but I'm going to go with the over in this one. Even with that last 7 under, I got to go over here with Florida State and Virginia. All right, we've got a comment in here. I was hoping it's Trucker Bill. Nice to have Trucker Bill here. Thank you. Appreciate it. Needed someone to comment with me. He likes Virginia here. Heading up on the interstate. It's got that Dale Earnhardt 3, I believe, up there, if I'm not mistaken. Thank you, Bill. All right, let's go to the next one here right now. And we've got TCU Frogs on the road going up against ASU here right now. And let's see, 2.5? No, call it 3 right now. I have these lines entered in kind of way earlier today, so we could kind of see maybe if there's been any extra movement. Now, this one did open as low as Arizona State by -1.5, maybe 2.5 at some of the late to market books, but nonetheless, the move has been on Arizona State here in this one. All right. For the Seminoles here, they won 27-24 at Baylor in their opener last week. The Sun Devils lost, remember, 24-20 at Mississippi State. They also beat Texas State 34-15. Good quarterback here, obviously, in Levitt for Dillingham. Sun Devils so far 15-5 against the spread in Big 12 games and 8-1 against the spread as a favorite for Dillingham here. This is going to be a tough game. I mean, they're favored to win this game over TCU, but man, a lot of these numbers really would favor them. So far, Sun Devils, all 3 games against those Division I foes were under. For TCU here, they beat North Carolina 48-14. Remember, they also beat SMU 35-24. For Hoover here, I know we're going to be big on him, I would think. Dykes isn't necessarily overwhelming in these spots, but he is 15-11 against the spread in Big 12 games so far as coach of the Frogs. Let's see here. Got some comments from you guys there in the chat. And there he is, Dave. Right, Dave, I was trying to think about how we could, this is Tony's channel, man. He's worked very hard to make this a great channel. But how could I get the night moves? Could I sing it? Would I get in trouble if I sung the song? I sing it every night as I'm getting ready for the show. And maybe I could just hum the tune. I'm a big Bob Seger fan. All right, good to see Dave there in the chat. And Trucker Bill said, yeah, it's my man, Dale Earnhardt. I remember where I was at that moment. And word spread quickly. Even, it wasn't quite, phones with ESPN or anything, but remember that. I remember that day and where I was when Dale hit that wall on the final lap of the race. All right, in this one between TCU and ASU, I'm actually going to go under in this one. Like I said, Devils have gone under in all 3 games so far this season. It's tough to look at which team you might want if you look at the trends, the spread trends between these two. I know I read off a bunch that kind of favors the Devils, but TCU is still 6-1 in their last 7 games ATS dating back to last season. They're on a 7-game winning streak coming in right now, 4-1 against the spread, last 5 on the road. ASU, meanwhile, 9-2 against the spread in their last 11, and they've won 8 straight games at home, 7 straight conference games right now. 7-0 ATS in conference games right now for ASU. So I'm going to go under in this one here on Night Moves. All right. Dave can give me the picks here. Give me Dave's picks. All right, next up, we've got Houston here taking on Oregon State. And, wow. I think you look at this one here, the Houston Cougars and Oregon State Beavers. This one could be kind of a defensive game, I would think. Houston's gone under in 15 of their last 20 games. They've coming in riding one of the nation's top defenses for sure, ranking in the top 10 in both yards per game and yards per play allowed, while giving up under 10 points per game on the road so far. Oregon State comes in having dropped 5 straight dating back to last season. And I don't really have a lot of faith right now in the Pac-2 teams. Maybe when they join the new conference, that's going to be a weak conference anyways. But I just think these teams have had trouble kind of making recruits want to kind of come there too. So I think that's part of the problem with Oregon State and Washington State right now. Oregon State have covered just once in their last 6 games at home and are averaging a dismal 1.9 yards per carry against Power 4 opponents so far this season. The Beavers have mustered just 7 points, of course, against the Ducks. I mean, that's not great. I mean, you're playing the Ducks, but still, despite a tough early schedule, Houston here is off to one of its best starts in nearly a decade, winning kind of with defense, obviously with defense, rather than explosive scoring that maybe we've known Houston for in the past. Oregon State will have enough problems scoring, you would think, in this game, and it could probably be a stout defense here by Houston, maybe keeping them off the scoreboard here. I can make some cases for Houston, for Oregon State, but not necessarily if you look at the trends either. Oregon State just 2-10 against the spread in their last 12, kind of in the time frame that this whole conference collapse thing has happened, when they basically got left without a conference. Those two teams, probably the weaker sisters, right, of the Pac-12 when the thing disbanded. Washington State and Oregon State didn't have anywhere to go and had to wait for the Mountain West shakeout here to hook back up, hopefully in a conference. We know it's coming, but right now they're in nowhere land. 1-5 against the spread their last 6 at home. 1-5 against the spread their last 6 against Big 12 teams, which they'd like to be part of that type of group. So Houston, as I mentioned, they've gone under in 15 of their last 20, but also 5 of their last 6 against the old Pac-12 teams, if you will. Houston's also gone 4-1 against the spread in their last 5, although they've dropped 9 of their last 12 on the road. This doesn't feel like as tough a test, so I'm actually going to lay 11 points here with Houston, or 13.5, whatever it is right now. I should be less flippant about it. They are up to 13.5 here, but total 47 in this one. I just can't make a case for Oregon here, so apologies. Like I said, I had these lines written in here. It did move a little bit before that, but I'm still going to lay it with Houston here and lay 2 touchdowns as the free play on the show. All right, so look at football for Friday. At least we'll come back to some Canadian football. I got a couple plays for you as well. All right, let's go to Major League Baseball now. And we've got some big games, and we've got some not so big games. So we'll see how quickly we want to go. Want to make sure we at least have one more day. This is going to be it for previewing every game during the regular season. I would think we're going to trim it down to what games are important on Saturday and Sunday. So listen up, because we're going to go over the teams that had a bad season one more time and maybe try to find something positive looking forward for those teams. All right, here we go with the Cardinals taking on the Cubs with Miles Mikolas. He's up against Colin Ray here in this one. And Cubs are a big favorite here at 175. But again, their position is sealed. They have nothing to play for. They will be hosting the Padres in the playoffs. So not much is on the line here. But I know one thing that could be on the line is, how about PCA? I hope he's in the lineup tomorrow. Again, you don't know, but I'm going to ride with PCA. This is one of the most dominating lines. I'm sure it's already been touted on the Tony's Picks YouTube channel. Maybe Chris had this one. Let me see if I got it here. PCA, 7 at-bats, 6 hits, and 4 home runs. We got PCA to hit a home run tomorrow, don't we? Or PCA to get an RBI, or PCA to get a couple of hits against Miles Mikolas. 7 at-bats, 6 hits, 4 home runs. 4 solo home runs, but hey, look at let's go with PCA tomorrow as our prop play in this one for sure. I mean, geez, that's crazy. I'm sure it's already been touted on the channel. That's some great numbers. So we'll just look at some of these games quickly here. The White Sox are taking on the Nationals, and which team? We know what this one's for. These guys can get up for this one. We're just out of pride alone. All right, well, maybe not so much, but for the White Sox here and Gomez, they're about $1.15 right now. Total 9 under 20 plus $1.15 right now, and for Yandres Gomez here, he's got a 4.92 ERA and a 1.39 WHIP. For Cade Cavalli, he's got a 4.23 ERA and a 1.43 WHIP coming in. He hasn't finished too strong really here down the stretch, but we saw maybe some unders here with these two teams of late. James Wood hit those 2 home runs there the other night, but the White Sox have gone under in 10 of their last 13 games, and Washington's gone under in 4 of their last 5 coming in. So I'm going to try the under here as these two play out the string tonight. Give me the under with the White Sox and the Nationals. Twins are on the road taking on the Phillies, and Joe Ryan making his final start of the season here in this one. Going up here against Aaron Nola. So Nola will probably be on the outside looking in, I would guess. Maybe there with the postseason series there, the 3-game. Once they get to the set, they don't have to play. The Phillies right now are in the driver's seat here for a top 2 position for sure. So for Joe Ryan here, comes up with a 3.47 ERA, 1.04 WHIP coming in. Taiwan for Aaron Nola. I think I've got Nola in here. Yeah, mostly Nola here in this one. So still a pretty big price for a Philadelphia team that, they could be ready to go here in the playoffs. They have won 14 of their last 20 games coming in. The Minnesota Twins have lost 10 of their last 15 games overall coming into this one. So I'm going to go ahead and take the Twins here. They're kind of finishing strong. They actually won some games here on the road. And let's see what that run line is right now. I'm going to take the Twins, I think, maybe on the run line here. There's going to be some volatility, let's just say, on the final weekend of the season. So minus $1.45. All right, as long as it's not under $1.50, I'll take Minnesota here on the run line. Not too proud of that one, but not sure what we're going to see out of that game. Okay, next up, got the Orioles on the road here, taking on the Yankees, and Tyler Rogers is going up against Will Warren here, and maybe the line is kind of reflective of the Orioles' chances maybe to come in here and steal one right now. Now, granted, the Yankees have certainly a lot of pressure on them as they try to compete here for the division title with Toronto, but Tyler Rogers has been outstanding. He's been one of the best pitchers in baseball since returning here and getting into the rotation. So can he perform? Can they play spoiler a little bit here in this game? You got Rogers right now, a 9-2 record coming in with a 1.35 ERA. It seems to only get better. 0.87 WHIP, 233 BABIP, and 178 batting average against. Baltimore's 13-4 with Tyler Rogers on the mound. He's also 5-12 to the under. For the Yankees here, and Will Warren, he's got a 4.35 ERA, 8-8 record. He's handled himself pretty well here for the rookie, for 1.37 WHIP and a 303 BABIP coming in. But the Orioles have, certainly played pretty well here of late. They've won 12 of their last 18 games on the road, but they have lost 5 of the last 6 matchups with the Yankees. Yankees have won 5 straight, including 4 of their last 5 at home. Yankees have gone under in 6 of their last 7. These two teams have gone under in 8 straight games overall. I'm going to take Baltimore here and see if they can't make life a little bit miserable for the Yankees here down the stretch, trying to get the division title while waiting to see what Toronto does on their next series, and then we're going to get to that right now. as the Rays will take on the Blue Jays here with Adrian Hauser. He's going up against Shane Bieber. For Hauser here, 8-4 record, 3.18 ERA. The Blue Jays and Bieber, 6 starts so far. The Blue Jays have won 4 of the 6 starts, 3.57 ERA, 0.96 whip, 221 batting average against. And Toronto here, pretty strong favorite against a pitcher in Hauser who has done pretty well. I might look to a prop here in this game, but for Tampa Bay here, they have lost 13 of their last 19 games overall, but they still have beaten Toronto in 11 of the last 14 meetings between the two teams. Now, Toronto has dropped 6 of their last 8, but they've won 5 of their last 7 games at home. Toronto's gone under in 13 of their last 19 games overall coming into this one. I'm going to look to a prop here. I'm going to take Alejandro Kirk to get a base hit. He's 6 for 9 off of Hauser. All singles. Just don't hit it to right field, Alejandro, or they're going to come up firing and throw you out at first base like they did last night, 2 nights ago. So I'm going to take Alejandro Kirk here to get a base hit in this one for Toronto. All right, yeah, I'm throwing in some extra props here on the show. Over at Tony's Picks, we're offering prop packages right now. A lot of the cappers are getting involved in handicapping their best props every day, and we're featuring them over at Tony'sPicks.com. So check out our new feature there. You know, we've been great with our sides, our totals, our money lines, but now you can get prop picks from the crew over at Tony'sPicks.com. Use the promo code TonyT at checkout to save 15% off those packages. Okay. Got the Mets coming in here with Sproat going up against Sandy Alcantara. Is this Sandy's last ever game with Miami? I would imagine not, but Sandy's 10-12 with a 5.48 ERA this season, 1.27 whip, 247 batting average against, and a 280 BABIP for Sproat here. And the Mets, they've gone with these young pitchers this whole time. It feels like that's been part of the problem, but we'll see. Probably just maybe an opener here in this one. Talk of some other potential starters here, but I'm pretty sure it's going to be Sproat going in this one. And he will be a favorite here at $1.25, 8 over. The move is clearly on the over here. It opened about 8 over 15, but we're seeing it tick up a little bit. I think we're seeing some pressure to the over in this one, and that's where I was going to go, actually, in this matchup between the Mets and the Marlins. I think we will see plenty of runs here. The Mets are still smashing the ball, no matter how you look at it here of late, hitting nearly 270 over the past month. Alcantara at home hasn't been, maybe he's been a little bit better than his +5 ERA, but I have a feeling that the Mets might be able to put up some runs in this one. You got Mets team right now. Let's see here. Coming in with some pretty stout trends to the over here. 10 of their last 15 overall and 6 straight on the road for the Mets have gone over. Miami's gone over in 11 of their last 16. 4 of the last 6 of them between the series has gone over. So give me the over here in this one here on Night Moves. All right. Love to hear from you in the chat. Love to get some picks with me. Got several dozen of you in here now joining me for the first week of my show. Going to kind of spice it up and get a little flow going. But, hey, I don't mind talking about the games live here on the Tony's Picks YouTube channel. Just would like to hear from you in the chat if you want. Give me your picks, and I'll flash them on the screen, or I can react and comment on anything you have to say in the chat. You've seen the messages on the Tony's Picks morning show. We can do that here too. I'm live right now from Las Vegas. The Tigers are taking on the Red Sox here with Casey Mize going up against Harrison here for the Sox. And we told you about the Sox situation coming into this one. And the Tigers too. This is a big game for sure here with Casey Mize. Comes in with a 3.91 ERA, 1.28 whip for Kyle Harrison here. A favorite in this one. He's gives a start here. 10 appearances, 3.58 ERA, 1.19 the whip coming in. Been a move here, I'd say, to Detroit. Opened $1.35 at an offshore book down to $1.20. That might be the most significant move that I've seen on this game, at least on the side, as far as the side is concerned. But really very important here for both teams. Mentioned Detroit right now in their battle, right there at the bottom of the wild card with Houston, and also tied for first with Cleveland. I think that's more important. Obviously, they can still get in, but still have lost 8 of their last 10 games overall, and Boston clinched that spot. They're trying to hold off Detroit here a little bit. If Detroit did get hot in this series, they could flip-flop the positions there right now, as the teams are 2 and 3 in the wild card chase. So I'm going to go with Mize under in his strikeout prop here at 3.5. It might even be juiced a little bit here, maybe $1.20 or $1.25. But I think Detroit's got all hands on deck here, even starting the series. See how Mize does, but I'm going to go under 3.5 strikeouts with Mize as my play in this game. Rangers here taking on Cleveland in this one. So Cleveland's the one with their situation at stake, currently tied for the division lead with the Tigers. They've still won 8 of their last 10 games right now. They're a considerable favorite here, taking on Texas, who's been just dismal down the stretch and cost themselves a chance at the postseason. But the move has been on Texas clearly here. It opened as high as $1.53 or so, and now we've moved all the way down here to $1.39 at some of the sharpest books here in Vegas. So, yeah, the move's on Texas here, but I don't know if I'd want them at this point, considering what they've been going through here of late. They've been awful down the stretch. Really cost them their chance to go to the playoffs. They've lost 9 of their last 10, lost 4 of their last 5 on the road coming in. Cleveland's been just the opposite. They've been red hot, having won 12 of their last 14 games coming in. Cleveland also has won 6 of their last 7 at home against these Texas Rangers. Cleveland's gone under in 8 of their last 9 games at home and 5 of their last 6 games overall. Texas has gone under in 5 straight games. But I'm going to go with Duran to get a hit here for Texas. That'll be my prop here in this one. I'm going to take Duran to get a hit as my prop play. Like I said, I want to feature some of the props. Duran, he's 3 for 8 against Mize with a home run and a hit, and they also walked a couple of times. So I'm going to go with Duran to get a hit here in the game against Cleveland. Next up, we've got the Pirates on the road taking on the Braves here with Mitch Keller going up against Joey Wentz. Wentz is $1.50, and the total, pretty much 8.5, shaded to the over, maybe $1.15, maybe $1.20 at the sharp books. The square books are a little behind, showing 8.5 here offshore, and then major U.S. facing book 8.5 over at minus $1.15. We have Joey Wentz here, going to be a favorite in this one. Two teams playing out the string for sure, but the Braves have been red hot. They just didn't have enough time to get things going. Wentz is 5-6 with a 5.65 ERA, 1.5 WHIP, 333 BABIP. Not great for sure, but serviceable here as a left-hander for Keller. 6-15 record. The Pirates were 11-20 with Keller on the mound, and maybe you could still consider him because of the price here. 4.22 ERA, 250 batting average against. But what's my motivation here if you're the Pittsburgh Pirates in this one? For the Pirates, they have won 4 of their last 5, but Atlanta's won 10 of their last 11. They've also won 17 of the last 20 matchups between the two teams in Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh's gone under in 6 straight meetings here with Atlanta, and Pittsburgh's gone under in 4 of their last 5 on the road and 11 of their last 15 overall. I'm going to take Acuna here over on his runs, hits, and RBIs today. Give me Acuna over runs, hits, and RBIs in this one with Pittsburgh and Atlanta. All right, I'm going to try some props here today and kind of let you know about our new products over at Tony's Picks with our prop selections. I know some of the guys are already firing away and making some packages with the props. So check them out. They're kind of at a reduced price as well. They're not as much as, if you will, of a side or a total because, the limits are going to be a little bit smaller. And, hey, these are definitely high-level plays that you're getting here at Tony's Picks. Okay. Next up, we've got the Reds taking on the Brewers here with Zach Littell. He's going for the Reds. Quinn Priester never loses for the Brewers. For Littell here, he's 10-8 with a 3.86 ERA, 1.0 WHIP, 246 batting average against for the Brewers. And Priester here, 13-2. The Brewers are 17-6 with Priester on the mound. He's got 3.25 ERA, 1.21 WHIP. 238 batting average against the Brewers right now coming in. Blowing up over here in Las Vegas with a lot of moves. Somebody's hit the bell here at midnight Pacific time. All right, for the Brewers here, they come in right now pretty much assured of that top spot. Reds, meanwhile, they're the team you got to look at here. They are just 1 game behind the New York Mets in the National League wildcard chase. So important for both games, both teams, no doubt, but more important here for the Cincinnati Reds to try to get this win against the Brewers. The Reds on the run line are kind of maybe playable here at $1.50 in this one. So I'm going to go ahead and try the Reds here on the run line at minus $1.50. That's about the limit we'll do here on the show for sure. But it's either one way or the other, right? Milwaukee's $1.60. So not interested necessarily in the Reds as a dog against Priester. But they just seem to win with Priester on the mound. So at least on the show here, I'll take it at minus $1.50. All right, Houston is taking on the Angels here. Houston is 1 game back currently in the standings behind Detroit. So they got to win and probably need some cooperation from Detroit and Cleveland, whatever goes down with those teams. Houston knows you just got to go out there and win pretty much no matter what. You have Jason Alexander going up against Kyle Hendricks. For Alexander, 12 starts, 4-2 record. Houston's 10-2 with Alexander on the mound, 1.4 WHIP, 264 batting average against for Hendricks here, 8-10 record, 30 starts. He was durable again. I imagine if you put Hendricks back on a competitive team, has he announced his retirement yet? 4.79 ERA, 1.28 WHIP, 280 BABIP here for Hendricks coming in for Houston. They've lost 5 of their last 6 games coming in, but the Angels have lost 11 of their last 13. Angels have gone over in 6 of their last 9 games at home, but the Astros have gone over under in 7 of their last 10 games on the road. So, oh boy, here Houston's got that pressure. The price might be okay at $1.45, $1.50 or so right now. And the total might be 9 flat or maybe 9 shaded to the under here. So, all right, I'll make my call then in this one with Houston and the Halos here. I'm going to go under here with these two. All right, just want to check the line. 9. I'll call it 9 under 15 there. And I'll take the under with Hughes. That was just like yesterday, the one game where I wasn't really sure even hitting on the airwaves what I was doing. So if you had to rate a game low there, that one I was kind of on the fly, if you know what I mean. All right, well, the Diamondbacks are going to take on my Padres, and Padres, like I said, they're heading to Chicago. No, nothing they can do. Meanwhile, the Diamondbacks really do have their work cut out for them here, 2 games back, so they need to pretty much win them all here starting tonight with Zach Gallen going up against you Darvish in this one. Darvish here, pretty big favorite, and he hasn't really pitched that well. I mean, I wouldn't trust the Padres necessarily in this situation. Diamondbacks need this win. The Padres are already thinking ahead. They're not, I guarantee you, not even concerned with this game right now. And they've got, kind of some injury bugs. Fernando Tatis has been sick for a couple of days. He hasn't even been able to be around the team. So Darvish comes in with a 4-5 record, 5.51 ERA, 1.14 WHIP, 239 batting average against. For Zach Gallen, still 13-14 this season, and the Diamondbacks were 16-16 with Gallen on the mound. They were a 500 team, and Gallen was a 500 pitcher, pretty much. 4.7 ERA, 268 BABIP, 236 batting average against. Arizona has lost 4 of their last 6 to the Padres coming in. Padres still have won 4 of their last 5 and 5 of their last 7 at home. But like I said, I think the Arizona will be far more motivated to win this game and worth a look as a dog. But I got a prop here in this one because Corbin Carroll owns Yu Darvish, 8 of 17 with 4 extra base hits, including a home run. He's walked 5 times, so pretty solid numbers here for Corbin Carroll. And I'm going to take him over on his runs, hits, and RBIs here on Friday. Give me Corbin Carroll against the Padres. All right. Oh, I think we've got the pitching matchup here now. Maybe I didn't finish my quite finish my work here with the Dodgers, and Sheehan is going up against, I think, George Kirby of the Mariners here, and that'll let's see. I think we also have a opening line here a little bit. Maybe $1.35, $1.40 here for the Mariners, and the total 7 over 15. That's from the Circa. They're at $1.39. Other than that, there really aren't a lot of books here at this hour that are posting this game just yet. Let me see if I can quote a few more here since we are live. Nah, only the Circa is ready to post here in this one. So appreciate that. That's why they're the sharpest book here in Vegas. Hey, I'm on with the Circa Sportsbook app. I can say that here. That's all legal. That's why I came here. All right, let's take a look here at this one with Emmett Sheehan going for the Dodgers. And look, Mariners got their clinching win there yesterday. Still just 1 game back of Toronto. They could keep going here right now and improve their position here. Dodgers, they're pretty much right where they're going to be right now, 3rd place. So really, it feels like the Mariners have the motivation here right now to win anyway. So let's see how we have it with Emmett Sheehan going here for Sheehan. 6-3 record, 2.86 ERA, 0.96 WHIP, 243 batting average against, and 185 batting average against, a 243 BABIP. Sheehan, very good numbers, obviously, here for Kirby in this one. 10-7. 4.24 ERA, 1.20 WHIP, 255 batting average against. And like I said, I think the Mariners have that motivation. The Dodgers have owned the Mariners. They've won 9 straight against Seattle. Dodgers come in having won 6 of their last 8 and 4 of their last 5 on the road. But the Mariners have this massive winning streak right now going themselves with 7 straight. They've won 10 straight at home. An interesting game here in this one. And look, I get it, right? You got 2 good pitchers here. You're opening at 7 over 15. I think that's going to loosen up. I'm going to go over here with the Dodgers and the Mariners, given the situation here tonight. I think the Dodgers won't have much motivation there. Maybe Sheehan does go out and deal against this powerful Mariners lineup right now, but the Mariners still looking to do some damage. So give me the over here in this one on Night Moves. All right, and next up, let's see what we got here. We got the Royals on the road taking on the A's. And you got Cameron going here, Noah Cameron for the Royals. He's up against Luis Morales of the Athletics. And this one actually is one where I haven't quite seen. Let me see if I can get a line on this one. We're at 3:15 Eastern Time, 12:15 Pacific. And let's call the Royals here about, I'm going to call them $1.30 on the road with Cameron here. I think I'm kind of piecing this line together. And total, we'll call it 9.5. We're in West Sacramento, of course. So let Ramon play bookmaker here. If you guys have a line, let me know. Drop it in the chat. Let me know what's going on. I only have a gazillion tools here, thinking I'm Mr. Odds on YouTube, but how about this live board behind me? Does it have the line? Let me know on the Royals and the Athletics here with Noah Cameron going for the Royals. Cameron, a 2.90 ERA, 9-7 record, 107 whip, 214 batting average against for Morales. 8 starts, 4-2 record. A's are 5-3 when Morales has started. Also 2-6 to the under, and Cameron 6-17 to the under combined, 8-23 to the under. Even I can figure that out. Morales just a 206 batting average against so far, and a 217 BABIP, and hey, he's had a few starts. I don't know if it's a fluke or a first time around the league type of thing. A's come in having won 9 of their last 13 games, including 6 of their last 7 here at Sutter Health Field. Kansas City's lost 5 of the last 6 meetings to the Athletics, although they have won 4 of their last 6. Kansas City's gone over in 9 of their last 12 and 5 of their last 6 on the road. But the A's, at home where they're supposed to go over, they haven't necessarily been going over, but 5 of their last 7 overall have gone under for the A's. So I'm going to go under in this one at 9. If it's 9.5, you might even call it 9/20. I have a feeling this thing's going to come lower than you think here, even with these two. I mean, Cameron's had solid season. Morales has obviously had some pretty solid numbers here coming in. So, you know what? I'm not going to, prop up a pick and say this will be 9.5 because Kansas City's definitely been hitting hot here this week, and the A's maybe not so much. Royals have been pretty okay in the bullpen for sure. I'm going to go under here in this one. All right, one more here on Night Moves in our Major League coverage, and got the Rockies taking on the Giants here. I think it's German Marquez for Colorado here. 25 starts, 6.5 ERA, 1.7 WHIP. For the Giants, I'm showing maybe McDonald here, but I'm also showing it could be Tang. So, it could be Tang opening and McDonald. You're probably going to see a lot of Giants pitchers is what you're going to end up seeing here in this one. So let's go through with Marquez here. Comes in with some pretty shabby numbers. 6.42 ERA, 3-15 record. Colorado was 6-19 with Marquez on the mound. 316 batting average against and 341 BABIP. For McDonald here, he'll be likely just an opener. I'm not going to worry too much about. If anything, the Giants, are throwing together a pretty good bullpen here right now, and obviously their situation is long past, so nobody's playing for anything in this one. So yeah, you got to wonder what their motivation will be, and wonder who'll be in this lineup tomorrow. I'm going to go with Wilmer Flores over. I'm going to take Wilmer Flores to get a hit. I'm going to take Wilmer Flores to get a hit as my play. And I'm going to take Chapman to hit a home run in case one of these guys isn't in the lineup. Who knows tomorrow? All right, that's a look at baseball here tonight, and we got a few more sports to look at. We're an hour in here on Night Moves here on the Tony's Picks YouTube channel. You can get my best plays every day over at Tony's Picks. My best plays on the entire card are every day at Tony'sPicks.com. Get my top-rated premium pick selections over at Tony's Picks. You can go over there and click on my handicapper profile page and get signed up. There it is right there. Check out how I'm doing. You can check out all my records, what I've been good in, what you can see what I've been successful in. I'm up 21 units in Major League Baseball this season, already up 4 3/4 units in college football. And you can subscribe to my plays over there by using that promo code TonyT at checkout for these individual day packages like that Beijing Best Bet. All right. Thanks for listening to that. And there's that promo code. All right, let's take a look right now and get into a little more action here for you on a Friday. I'd love to hear from you in the chat. Feel like I'm all by myself in here, even though it shows I got, nearly 4 or 5 dozen of you in here right now. Really appreciate you joining me here on Night Moves. All right, WNBA action here, playoff time with both of our series lined up here at 1 apiece, and you got the Aces on the road here taking on the Fever in this one. Man, the Aces are 4-point favorites against this Indiana team that playing out of their mind right now. You got Aaliyah Boston all up in Asia Wilson's face, playing great defense, and but still 1 game each here. But that does mean that the Fever have the home court advantage here, playing these next 2 games at home. So we'll see. Can they steal it here and get both games and find their way to the championship without Caitlin Clark in the end? Wouldn't that be a story? I think right now they're doing a great job, especially against Jackie Young. She's definitely come in under her projections in the last 2 games. I think you got to give credit also to Kelsey Mitchell a little bit in that one, in that category, and Melissa Smith, as she had that great game in game number 2, but they, when they ended up clubbing them 90-68. But remember, the Fever won the first game between the 2 teams here. So, all right, I'm going to see what you guys have here. Think of the other show. Nobody's posting anything. It's just me here at this point. All right. Now, I'm going to go with the over here in this one at 162.5. Look, I've been mostly under so far in the WNBA playoffs, but I think in this matchup, I'm willing to go over here with the Aces and the Fever. I think the game will play more at the Fever tempo, and I do think they still want to make it kind of a quicker situation here with Kelsey Mitchell. Incredible game in that first victory with the 34 points, and I think Mitchell can have a big game here at home tonight. So I'll take the over in this one. I know the victory was only at that it finished 162, and then game 2 went for just 158 in the Aces blowout. So I'm going to go over here. Maybe that kind of clues you into who I like in the game, but hey, I do got a premium play. So I'm going to go over here in this one at 162.5 as my play here on Night Moves, game number 3, WNBA semifinals on Friday night. And the late game out west with the Minnesota Lynx taking on the Phoenix Mercury here, and again tied up at 1 because the Mercury has done a pretty great job here. The Mercury do have some limitations for sure. I think defensively now they did do a pretty tremendous job for sure in that 89-83 win in game 2 after the Lynx won game 1 82-69. Courtney Williams, look, they did lose that game. There's no doubt. It wasn't Courtney's fault. I mean, she has been the best player in the WNBA playoffs so far. 23 in the first game, 20 in the second game, but also rebounding and assists. Williams has been just I would say the best player, maybe the most overachieving player so far. Courtney Williams has been on fire so far right now. And hey, the Lynx are still number 1, but they've lost the home court advantage here to the Mercury right now, and the Mercury have done a great job this season. So why couldn't they hang here against the Minnesota Lynx tonight? I'm taking the Phoenix Mercury to get this one. Maybe the Lynx will come back and get game number 4, but I like Phoenix here in game number 3. They're just like grabbing the last game. I think the momentum continues here for Phoenix, and I'm going to take the Mercury in game number 3 tonight against the Lynx. I'm going to take those 4 points for sure. Might be the best game of the series here. I'll take the Mercury here tonight. All right, we got 2 more games I want to look at here right now. I want to go to the CFL tonight with the Calgary Stampeders taking on the Montreal Alouettes. Here in this one, you got the Stamps coming in as a dog here. And, Montreal really does own Calgary, no matter how you look at it. Montreal's coming in here 7-7 right now. And Calgary 8-5 over in the West, looking pretty strong. But you look at overall, when these 2 teams have met, it's been all Montreal. They've won and covered 7 of the last 8 meetings between the 2 teams. Calgary's gone under in 5 of their last 6 games on the road, and 4 of the last 5 meetings between these 2 teams have gone under. But I think tonight I'm going to call it, I don't know if a blowout, but I'm going to think that Vernon Adams isn't going to be able to have his best game against Montreal. I think they kind of keep him under wraps here a little bit. And I think with Philpott, with Sneed, I think Montreal will get theirs. It might be more of a defensive game here, but I'm going to go with the Alouettes in this one, -4 points against Calgary. All right, and the late game is the Argos taking on the Lions here. The Lions at 7-7 here right now. The Argos are 5-9 coming into this one. And I think, between these 2 teams, Toronto really has dominated against BC. I know they're 7-point dogs here in this one, but I'm probably going to take them. I think Toronto's going to be able to score. We've already seen, look, I've been the guy that touted Arbuckle when nobody wanted to tout Arbuckle, and now look at what they're doing, and they're going up against the BC Lions defense. Come on. They're last, aren't they? Don't you have them as last? You'd think all these guys can go. Herslow, Polk, Brissett, Mattal. They can get big numbers here tonight. They can even run it here with Brown. So I think Toronto can have a big night here actually against BC and hang in this game. Don't get me wrong. I think Rourke can have a big night too. But outside of Hatcher and maybe McInnes, who in the receiving game can turn out to help them along there? Maybe Barry Hill. Butler can certainly have a big game on the ground. I think this one probably is a high-scoring game, but I might have a premium. I'm going to go with Toronto plus the points in this one tonight. Like I said, Toronto's done very, very well against the Lions, winning and covering 5 straight meetings between the 2. BC's gone over in 5 straight, and they've also gone over in 4 of their last 5 at home. I'm going to go with Toronto as my play here on the show. All right, that's going to do it for Night Moves. I hope we covered enough here. I kind of wanted to give out some tennis and everything, but I've spent over an hour with you here, so maybe we'll get some online. Like I said, I got my best play over there right now at Tony'sPicks.com. You can check me out there and get that late night play with me. And check me out on the tennis scene. I love middle of the night tennis. Who doesn't? And also, you can get more over at Tony'sPicks.com. Check us out. Check out those handicapper leaderboards and see who's hot. And then get signed up. So let's see what Al was up to. You got to check him out again. He's hot here. Goes 4-1 again tonight. He just rolled it up there again last night. So, man, we got to sneak in on Al and see what he's up to. He had the Seahawks here. He had the Yankees first 5. He had also the Phillies first 5 on the run line and the Dodgers first 5 on. Of course, he had his Dodgers, and he had them to crush Arizona. Oh, Al, congratulations to your Dodgers. We'll get you in the end. You know why, Al? because the playoffs are about the bullpen, not about the starting pitching. All right. That's what the Padres. That's why the Padres will succeed in the postseason with that bullpen. They'll come around there. All right, it's going to do it here for Night Moves on Friday. Make sure you join me here tomorrow night at 2:15 a.m. Eastern, 11:15 a.m. Pacific, or somewhere around there for more Night Moves. We'll be talking college football for sure. Mostly college football. We'll just barely touch on the pennant races, whatever is left, and whatever we can talk about. But I will put a ton of college football games and put the work in tomorrow for sure. Late night, man, we could go over. Would I get you to come back if I said 20 games tomorrow, maybe for college football? Come on and join me here on Night Moves and bring your picks. I mean, really disappointed in the no picks, and not disappointed in you guys watching. Really appreciate it. And thank you for joining us here on the Tony's Picks YouTube channel. Catch you tomorrow with more Night Moves.